If you're designing your home in 2026, here's the advice I wish someone had given me before I spent hours saving beautiful rooms, comparing furniture, and wondering why my own space still didn't feel right. Stop trying to create a home that looks impressive. Start creating one that makes you feel good. Because the biggest mistake people make with home design isn't choosing the wrong color or buying the wrong sofa. It's designing for an imaginary audience instead of the person who actually has to live there every day. And in a world that's already full of noise, screens, notifications, and constant stimulation, your home should feel like the place where all of that finally gets quieter. So if I were designing a home from scratch in 2026, these are the principles I'd follow. First, prioritize comfort over appearance. There's nothing wrong with beautiful furniture, but if your sofa looks incredible in a photograph and nobody wants to sit on it, what exactly have you achieved? Your home isn't a showroom. It's where you drink coffee, watch movies, have conversations, take off your shoes, eat dinner, and occasionally spend an entire Sunday doing absolutely nothing. So when you're choosing major furniture, ask yourself a simple question: would I genuinely want to use this every day? Look for pieces that feel substantial, comfortable, and connected to the room. Furniture with visual weight can make a space feel more settled, while extremely delicate pieces can sometimes make a room feel temporary. You don't need oversized furniture, you need furniture that feels like it belongs. Second, make your home easy to live with. This sounds obvious, but it's one of the most overlooked parts of good design. A beautiful home that constantly demands cleaning, rearranging, polishing, and maintenance can eventually become exhausting. Think about the surfaces you're choosing. Highly reflective finishes may look stunning when they're perfectly clean, but everyday fingerprints can turn them into a maintenance project. The same goes for delicate fabrics, impractical rugs, and furniture that requires special care. Instead, choose materials that can handle real life. Matte wood, textured surfaces, durable upholstery, and practical rugs can still look sophisticated without demanding your attention every day. Because here's the real luxury in a home: not having to worry about it constantly. Third, don't confuse more with better. This is where people often get stuck. A room feels slightly empty, so they buy another lamp, then another chair, then artwork, then accessories. And eventually, the room is full, but somehow it feels less peaceful than before. In 2026, I'd rather see a room with fewer, better chosen pieces than a room where every surface is competing for attention. Empty space isn't wasted space. It gives the eye somewhere to rest. It allows your favorite furniture to stand out. It makes artwork feel intentional, and it gives the room a sense of confidence. So before buying something new, try removing something first. You may discover that the room didn't need another object. It needed breathing room. And here's where designing a home gets much more personal. Because even a perfectly styled room can still feel strangely empty if none of it tells your story. That's why my fourth piece of advice is simple. Bring in things that actually mean something to you. Maybe it's a photograph from a trip. Maybe it's an old book. Maybe it's something handmade. Maybe it's an object you've owned for years and would never find in a showroom. These things matter because personality can't be purchased as a matching furniture collection. Your home should reveal something about you without needing to explain itself. Imagine walking through your front door after being away for several days. What would make you think, "I'm finally home"? It probably wouldn't be a trendy side table. It would be the familiar objects, the comfortable chair, the photograph you love, the view from your favorite corner, or the little details that belong specifically to your life. That's the feeling you should design for. And there's another mistake I'd avoid: chasing trends too aggressively. Design trends can be useful for inspiration, but your home doesn't need to become a time capsule of whatever happens to be popular this year. Trends come and go quickly, and designing your entire space around one particular style can make your home feel outdated sooner than you expect. Instead, use trends as ideas rather than strict rules. If you love a certain color, texture, furniture shape, or decorating style, bring it into your home in smaller, flexible ways. A trendy cushion, artwork, lamp, or accent piece is much easier to replace than an expensive sofa or kitchen renovation. The goal isn't to completely avoid trends, it's to make sure your personal taste remains stronger than whatever is currently popular on social media. A timeless home can still feel modern, but it should also feel comfortable, personal, and authentic to the people who actually live there. Instead, use trends as ingredients, not instructions. If you love a certain color, material, or shape, bring it in. But ask whether you'd still enjoy it if nobody on social media were talking about it. Because the most timeless homes aren't necessarily the ones that avoid trends. They're the ones where the personality of the person living there is stronger than the trend. And finally, design around your real life, not your fantasy life. If you rarely entertain, don't build your entire home around impressing dinner guests. If you love reading, make room for books. If you work from home, take your workspace seriously. If you have children, pets, hobbies, or messy habits, design around those realities instead of pretending they don't exist. A home becomes beautiful when its design supports the way you actually live, not the way you wish you lived. So if you're designing your home in 2026, remember this: comfort first, practicality second, personality always, and restraint when you're tempted to keep adding. And before you buy that next piece of furniture, pause for a moment and ask yourself one final question. Will this make my life better, or will it simply make my room look more finished? Because sometimes the most beautiful thing you can add to a home isn't another object. It's the feeling that you finally don't need anything else. If this gave you a new way to think about your home, leave a comment and tell me one thing you want your space to make you feel. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe for more practical design ideas, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Your dream home doesn't have to look like everyone else's, it just has to feel like yours.